Hi. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about how to develop your interest in finance. Right? Finance as a career is not for everyone, but regardless of which career you are in, you must learn some finance. Right? It always helps. Sooner or later, you will realize that lack of knowledge in finance or of finance will cost you a lot. And sooner or later, you realize that probably won't realize at the beginning of a career, but many people realize that when they're in the mid 30s, mid 40s. Some people realize after they retire. And it's not just personal finance. Of course, that's perhaps the most important thing for everyone, right? But things which are beyond personal finance also. And I'm going to tell you as to why that is true. But let's talk about how you can sort of bridge the gap, right? We don't learn much about finance when we were in school, right? So that's actually a problem, right? We know almost nothing about finance or economy. We learn nothing about that, right? You really have to specialize in this area in order to learn that. You learn commerce or business, economics, finance. You have to go to business school to learn finance, but you really can't learn finance as an elective if you're doing if you're doing some other thing other than finance. You could be doing engineering or science or liberal arts, but there's no way to learn any finance. I've heard that in the US it's possible that you can take some business courses, some finance courses along with your technical subjects, but that's not possible in many countries, right? How do you sort of then learn finance and develop your interest in the field of finance? As I've said, it's important to learn some finance regardless of whether you are interested to have a career in the field of finance or not. If you really want to be in finance and make a living out of it, there's no debate about it that you have to study finance, right? You have to learn it. You have to learn as much as possible. One life is not sufficient to learn this academic area. It is an area which is not just academic but also quite applied. So you have to read books, watch videos, documentaries on finance and banking, but you also have to read many other things: journals, newspapers, business newspapers, and so on and so forth, right? You may have to even connect with people. You need to learn on the job, from your work experience, all that. But if you're not interested to have a career in finance or make a career in finance, and you just want to learn finance because you really want to do well in life financially, right? So that's personal finance. But financially also in your career, which are not directly part of personal finance, but it does affect your personal finance. I think it's quite important to start actually. You really need to get started. And the best way to start is to not go on YouTube and learn from people, not watch shorts, YouTube shorts, Instagram shorts, watch personal finance videos. No, I am not going to recommend you doing that. Well, you could do that, but don't expect to learn a lot from those videos. You will learn more if you read. Reading is the best form of learning something. I myself make videos on YouTube, but I do consider reading more intellectually engaging than watching videos, watching podcasts, and so on. Right. So if you want to learn, start reading, right? And what do you read first? Read the newspapers, the business newspapers. Now, it may not be easy for everyone to understand everything what is there in the business newspaper. If you're reading Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, The Economist, these are some of the popular ones. Wall Street Journal is a good one. Financial Times is a good one. The Economist. In India, we have Economics Times, the Live Mint. There are several of them. Just choose one and just go through some of the top articles, right, on the first page. Right, you may not understand everything, but you will get familiar with some of the more commonly used words in the field of finance. And if you don't understand, just do a Google search or take the help of Chat GPT and to understand what they're. Now, don't try to learn everything in a very structured way when you start, right? Right. Because there, first of all, there are not simply not many good structured courses in the field of finance. Maybe in some niche category there are such courses, but you don't have like introduction to finance courses. There's simply not many. Maybe there are, you can search on Coursera, EDX, but to my knowledge, I don't think there are any. But if there are, then go ahead with that. Otherwise, just start reading from newspapers, from business newspaper, right? Learn some of the things from there. And the next thing to do is to learn from the books. Again, don't learn from the podcast and YouTube videos and so on. You can do those things later on, but learn from books. Buy some good finance books. If you do a bit of a Google search, you can find some introductory finance book. Okay. There are, if you have friends who are professional economists or professional finance people, talk to them. Talking to people one on one makes a huge difference to your knowledge. So talk to them for half an hour, you will learn a lot, right? And ask them which books you should learn, right? Just read some of these books, right? And the next thing that you should do is to do I mean, if you have time and you have patience and you want to invest some money, nothing wrong in doing a course in the field of finance, right? Doesn't matter if you're not interested in the career in finance also. I personally believe everyone should learn some economics and finance. I mean, even though you're not an economist or you don't work in finance, you should have the knowledge of how interest rate and inflation are related. How does this relationship, or for that matter, relationship between any macroeconomic variable affect you as an individual, affect your job, affect your investment, affect your decision making, uh, right? One good site it comes to my mind now, I remember, is the MR University. There's this YouTube channel called MR University, Marginal Revolution University. They do have a website also. They have a blog also, MR University blog or Marginal Revolution, something like that. Okay, so just Google search MR University. Okay, it's by a professor from George Mason University, I guess. I'm not able to recall his name, but he's a very famous guy. He has come on Lex Friedman's podcasts few times, so you can watch some of the videos, right? It it really makes you more smart, right? You can take very smart decision. Everything you do in life is a decision making process, right? If you have knowledge of some economics and finance, you can do it better. Some people refute it, but I do agree. I come across people, smart people, but have no idea about the economic way of the smart way of thinking, smart way of taking good decision, and these people make hell lot of mistakes, um, especially uh, on managing the money, purchasing houses and so on. So it's also because they have no understanding of even the simple finance. I have a friend who is a medical doctor. He committed perhaps one of the biggest financial mistake one can ever make. I'm not going to go into the details of it. He yeah, I really feel very sorry about him. Despite being a specialist doctor, extremely smart guy, but has no idea. He doesn't know much about the field of finance, and because of that, he made a very terrible mistake. I see people buying houses in different places, um, and not thinking about what is the right time to buy a house, what's the best way to do it. You know, some people say it's common sense. You don't need to be an economist to be able to make good decisions. But I disagree. I think it's no doubt common sense, but you do have to learn some of the things. And these decisions are not just about the knowledge, but also about the psychology. The psychological aspect is also very important. But then, unless you know about this area, know about the factors that affect your decision, you can never be even more strong psychologically. Right? And I see that as a bigger problem with the young people, right? I think when I was in my early 20s, I perhaps was better than the ones that I talk to nowadays. For a variety of reasons, I think one big reason I see is that people are reading less compared to my generation. I think it had already started in my generation, but the videos were not that popular. I mean, I'm in my mid 30, by the way. But I think more recently, especially after COVID, I think the young generation are not spending time enough to read. They're watching videos, shorts, and all that. You won't learn much from these things. You really need to at least learn from newspapers, blogs, books, and if possible, even doing a course. Right. So I wanted to share with you that regardless of what you do in life, have interest in economics and finance. You'll thank me later on. Not now. You'll not take me seriously for now. I think when you grow old after 20, 30 years, I think you probably will remember me. I probably won't be making videos by then, and you probably can't even find these videos online. But you will, I'm sure you will thank me later. So it doesn't matter what you do in life. Learn economics and finance, right? It's not an option. Even if you're not interested in economics, learn some economics. It will help you a lot. It will help you manage your money, take good decisions, personal decisions, career decisions. Uh, it will help you even have better understanding of people, economy, countries, governance, and everything. Everything that affect you, right? So that's just one advice I would like to give. If you are someone who is interested to work in the industry, I mean, you are not going to be a scientist or a professor, or you are not going to be working in bureaucracy, or even in bureaucracy, I think you need to know economics. But if you are going to be working in an industry, you must learn economics, right? That's not even a choice. You have to learn some economics or finance. So what are the things you should, I'll make a separate video like economics. What are the topics that you as a non-economist, non-finance guy should learn about economics and finance? I'll make a separate video, but in nutshell, I would like to tell you that you learn some macroeconomics, some microeconomics, some accounting stuff, some corporate governance, something about stock market or financial market in general. Learn about different types of loan, different types of assets which are traded, how they are traded. Learn about risk return trade-off. Learn about efficient market hypothesis. Learn about equity risk premium. Learn about corporate governance. Learn about bit of behavioral finance, how stupid mistakes people make, smart people even make in the field of finance. Learn about a bit about irrational exuberance, how irrational decisions are made in the field of finance because of herd mentality, because of not lack of knowledge, but because of emotions. And learn about crisis, banking and financial crisis, 2008 financial crisis. There's so many good documentaries. Watch them. Right? That will increase your interest in this field, and then you will start reading more and more, and you will connect with people from this field. So that's going to help you a lot. All right, so that's something I want to share. As always, thanks for watching. See you in another video, guys.